this video, I'm going to continue flooring from my entryway into my living room. I'm going to go over how I added new floor to the existing flooring. I ripped up the old carpet and pad, removed all the staples, I measured where the joists were in the floor, and I went through and I placed a 3-inch screw about every foot in the joist to help with the creaking. I had to go in and actually remove as much of the floor as I could. I removed it all the way back to the hallway. There was not a logical place to stop the flooring and either put new flooring in or put a transition so that we could have both old and new. The floor that we originally had purchased was no longer being sold. I was able to find the same color just by another manufacturer. The locking mechanism, the tongue and groove locking mechanism, wasn't the same between the two different brands. To show a little bit closer of what I was doing to connect the old floor to the new floor, you can see these two pieces here. The old floor has the lighter tan and has the green backing. The new floor has the darker gray and it has the black backing. The old floor has a shallower lip on it, while the new floor actually has a wider lip that is deeper. Putting the old tongue into the new groove gave about a 1/16 inch gap between the two planks. So what I did was I took off just a little bit of the old tongue, and then I cut off the lip on the new groove, and that allowed the two to slide together and leave no gap and a nice seam. The modifications that I did to each plank made it so that the two different types of flooring weren't actually locked together. I actually used CA glue, an activator, to glue them together. And then by using a brick pattern, I was able to lock in the old floor with the new floor. I figured I would start implementing the new floor, instead of doing it on one line, either going the length of the room or going the width of the room, I decided to do like a brick pattern or a stepped pattern so that I'm not creating one line, either the length of the room or the width of the room, that have that weak joint. With that, it was just a matter of continuing it on and putting down the flooring like you would any other flooring. When I got close to the end here, I had a vent. I like to cut things and measure things based off the other elements of what I'm making. In this case, I laid the plank down over the vent, and then I cut out what needed to be cut out for the vent. Once the flooring was in, I put the trim pieces back on. I did put a cove piece at the bottom of the 1x6 trim, and that's because the carpet was higher than this flooring, and so there was a gap between the bottom of the trim and the flooring. So I just put that cove piece on there. It adds a little bit of style to the floor. This part made my head hurt quite a bit. I thought for days on how I was going to trim around the fireplace. It's not square, as you can see. These stones go in and out. They're not all the same height. So I was really wondering how to do a trim piece here. I ended up having an extra outdoor trim piece from my shed that worked perfectly here. It was a 1x4, and it was just long enough to do the length of the fireplace. I started by measuring the length of the fireplace and then measuring the length of the board and marking the middle of both. Then I went around and templated out the shape of the stone, starting from the middle and then working my way left and right, and then transferring that onto the board. I made sure to mark a little mark on the stone for every section of the templating jig, so I knew where to go back and start again. Once I traced it out, I took it to the shop and cut it out with the jigsaw. This was a repetitive process. I cut out as close as I could, and then I went back. I probably did this 5 or 6 times to make sure that it got as close as possible. I did the same thing on the sides as I did on the front. To create this 45, I trimmed the side piece, I cut it out of 45, and then I laid it over the front piece and just marked that. I also put that cove molding around the fireplace too, so that it was a consistent look going all the way around the room. Next was to go back and finish off the painting. I was going to put a bead of caulking around the edge where the gaps are between the trim piece and the stone. I don't want to have caulk on the stone that I could potentially have to clean up later. I tried to show a lot of pictures of the floor and how the CA glue actually worked. I was a little reluctant to do it. It was the best solution that I thought of, and it's relieving to see that it actually worked. The planks are not popping up like I thought they might be. There is a little bit of a difference with the sheen of the old and the new. That was something that I didn't take into consideration when I was looking at it. I was too concerned with the color and the locking and finding the right stuff. If you're not subscribed, make sure to do that and hit the notification bell so that you'll be notified when I upload a new video. Thank you for watching, and check out some of my other videos.